What's going on, internet? So I make these videos to be listened to, not watched. So tab out, put me in your earbuds, work out, walk your dog, play Minecraft, do whatever you want, because I'm about to go on a rant, and some of the things I might say might be deemed controversial, and if you disagree, I'd love to hear about it in the comment section down below. Now, if you do decide to comment, understand that I most likely won't read it, but if I do, I'd appreciate it being a coherent argument or explanation or reasoning of some kind. You know, if you just go to the comment section to like call me an idiot or make fun of my unlit Christmas tree, oh Jesus, unlit Christmas tree, whatever you decide to do, just try to not make an ass of yourself. But anyway, I've felt this way for a little bit, meaning a few years, but it's never been more obvious until now. But it seems like it is absolutely supported, promoted, and almost pushed artificially to be anything but a man, anything but a leader. And what I mean by this is, if I were to go on Twitter and make a post of myself working out or just got off the job or building a fire, you know, just mundane, manly things, most of which I never do. But these types of things, it wouldn't get much attention, but it certainly wouldn't blow up. It wouldn't grow outside of the small circle of those that follow me. Whereas if I made a post saying, decided I hate my dad, dyed my hair, got gauges, and tatted myself to hell and back to the point where half my employment opportunities gone for the rest of my life. Freedom! It would not only get more attention by default, but I'm confident that it'd be far more likely to expand. Like, there's algorithms and other things that would push it out to be seen by other people, more so than if I were to just post something of me working out. Another example would be, hey guys, I cut my dick off, I'm a girl now, and I plan to compete in the Women's Olympics. Everyone would applaud me, you know, and it would certainly go viral. That would go viral. I'm very confident, no matter who you are, if you did that, you could have 0 followers. I'm confident that it would be far more likely to go viral than just about anything else. And that's fine. I'm totally 100% in agreement that everyone should have the right to do whatever they want with their body. What I'm pointing out is that the type of guy to lead, to employ people, to protect people, to inspire people, the type of guy that girls want to fuck, the type of guy that girls want to settle down with, the type of guy that would be a great father figure, is absolutely not supported or promoted by society right now. Obviously. My Explore page on my Instagram pisses me off. I only look at workout stuff and the sciences. I don't know why, but I'm super fascinated with how the brain works, how people work, because I find that when you understand these things, it's far more difficult to be disappointed by people. Perhaps this is why I hang out with my dogs more than anything else. But I've always found this stuff to be fascinating, so you would assume that my Explore page would be working out, fitness, health, and the sciences. But it's not. It is to an extent. But every day, I somehow get some very feminizing content, just to put it lightly, right? Yet, if I go on JC's account, where it should be all feminine content, I never once run into a male figure. It's all pretty e-boys that unfortunately look a lot like me, or it's girls shaking their asses, okay? It's very unlikely that she'll ever run into an inspirational, educational post. Whereas I continue to run into her type of content despite the fact that I don't consume it at all. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope that made sense. It's almost like it's like being pushed into my fucking face all the time. And I don't like it. I don't like that a strong male figure is never represented in almost anything, ever. Growing up, we had Nickelodeon and Disney Channel. Okay? You watch iCarly, which was one of my favorite shows. Neville is like gay, but not gay, but gay, but not gay, and also evil. Spencer is a degenerate idiot that doesn't know how to parent or take care of anything, and that's like damn near his character. He has his warm, heartfelt moments, of course. I love that show. Don't get me wrong. And I'm also not implying that there's some, agenda by the media. Like, no, I think it's unintentional, but it's certainly there nonetheless. You got Freddie, socially awkward, nerdy, simp. And then you've got Gibby, fat idiot. Loved him, loved that character, but a fat idiot. And then on occasion, they'd bring in an attractive guy that like they made a special for, and they promote it for a month. And it ends up just being Justin Bieber number 9, straight out of the factory, blonde hair, and they just are so into him because of how he looks. Not because of what he's done, what he accomplishes, that he does anything. And I'm not saying that, you should watch iCarly to figure out how to be a man. I'm only pointing out that in all of these shows, because this applies to all of them, there's not a single male figure that is like, damn, I'm into that. Another example that I have is in anime or live action shows, like Peaky Blinders or Attack on Titan, the male dominant character, that is exactly what Twitter would have you convinced is a fucking evil demon. So like, for example, Thomas Shelby on Peaky Blinders, an absolute unit of a man, just got out of World War I, suffers with PTSD, yet he kills people for money, he dominates everyone, he outsmarts everyone. He is quite literally the most alpha male Chad of anything I've ever seen in a show. Every fucking girl wants to fuck him in that show. Absolutely every girl. Every girl wants to fuck him, and the girls that don't want to fuck him, they just don't want to admit it. Okay? Which is ironic, because like, even my girlfriend wants to fuck him, if I'm being totally honest with all of you, okay? It hurts a little bit, but I can't complain, or I can't argue with her. I'm like, yeah, if Tommy Shelby was in here, I would probably just look away. But you get what I'm saying, where he's an absolute man, yet that type of man in real life is not promoted, supported in any way on social media. Like, you're never told to be like that guy. You never have a figure like that in media. Yet every girl wants to be with that guy. And on top of that, every guy wants to be that guy when you watch that show. Who doesn't want to be a leader? Okay? Like, hello, duh. Now, I'm not saying it's cool to go around and killing people and shit. Hopefully you don't have to do that today or ever. But I'm only pointing out that it's ironic that the same type of person that Twitter so badly wants you to demonize, or just at least not know about or learn from, is the exact type of guy that everyone wants to be and or be with. And I'm confident that a lot of the problems that come around today, like school shootings, other things like that, have to do with the lack of support for boys. A lot of guys grow up never being told they're good, but also never being told they suck. One of the most important things for a boy to become a man is to be told you suck. You're a loser. Because then you have time to reflect and consider, wait, I don't want to be that anymore. What makes me a loser? Oh, I haven't done anything. Is that your fault? Yes, but also not really, because you're like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're not really supposed to have done anything extraordinary. Despite what social media might tell you, you're really not supposed to. So you end up with these kids that have never been told they suck, yet they're never told they're good at anything, so they really don't know what they're into. They don't know what their purpose is. They've never learned that you have to work hard and sacrifice to be able to accomplish cool shit. They've always been told, be nice to everyone. Be respectful to everyone. So they end up deciding they finally like a girl, and then they simp over her, and of course she goes and fucks the football player that doesn't care about her, because that's just nature. Because no one wants to date a liar to themselves and the person. When you simp over a girl and you're not, and you say you love her, or you think you love her because of her Instagram pictures or the way her ass is fat, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to her, and that is the bottom line. That's why she doesn't find you attractive. So it's not necessarily that nice guys lose. It's just that girls can see through a nice guy's bullshit. Okay? Because usually the douchebag that you see at the bar that gets all the girls that you hate so much, just because his jaw isn't dropping when she walks by and he's like holding her hand and lifting her dress up everywhere she walks. You better believe that when he takes her home, he's showing her a good time. She is not complaining. Okay? And that's what you lack. And, like, for example, Thomas Shelby or Captain Levi from Attack on Titan, they fuck. Okay? If either one of them got a hold of my girlfriend, I'd be like, fuck, I'll go look for another one. God damn it. You know what I mean? But my point is, I feel like I've said this too many times, but my point is that despite that everyone wants to be or be with a man, and that society benefits most from men, alpha leaders, and I know those terms are cringe and overused. I just don't know what else to call them. They're not supported. They're not promoted. It's very difficult to find that kind of content. And I think as time goes by, it's going to become more and more obvious this is a problem, because you're going to end up with boys that have never been told they're good, never been told they're bad, never had to learn, never had to face adversity, and all of a sudden they're overly medicated on, you know, the girl just shut them down for the 1,000th time, and they're on a whole lot of caffeine, and all of a sudden they have a gun in their hand. And, you know, when you want to kill someone because you're in a fight or you're angry or something, you know, we all have those dark thoughts at times. If you ever, like, consider it, you know, when you have that dark thought, like, you kind of, like, rehearse the fight that could happen in the shower, you know, like the argument. We've all done it. Sometimes what naturally keeps you from, like, actually killing someone is what you have to lose. Well, I had to lose my friends, my family, my hobbies, my passions. Well, what if you don't have any of that? And on top of that, you're overly medicated, so you don't feel anything anyway, and you're jacked up on caffeine, and you just got told for the 1,000th time in a row, fuck off, by a girl. You've been bullied your whole life. What are you realistically going to do? I don't know, but I'd argue that at that point, it becomes a challenge of going out with a bang as opposed to improving your situation. And that's why these things happen, these shootings. Or at least one of the reasons. And I'm confident that had that guy been told at a young age, you suck, and then decided to do something, and then over time got good at it, maybe tried other things, got good at them, and all of a sudden, because he's gotten better at something, he builds this inert confidence that he can now take around with him, and all of a sudden he continues to become more and more of a man, and one day a girl walks by and decides she likes him, touches his penis, and all of a sudden now he knows, hey, look, I can be loved, and I can be good at things. Now, if he decides to kill someone or multiple people, he has a lot to lose. He's a legitimate member of society. And all it took was a little bit of how to be a person effectively. You know, all it took was a little bit of not being raised by an Xbox and Nickelodeon. And there you go. I've had this problem as well. I have great parents. Great parents. I in particular got very lucky with my parents because they unintentionally taught me things and like taught me how to deal with people and interact with people in ways that I just don't think I'd have gotten anywhere else. They're also just good people. So like across the board, like I have pretty good parents. Obviously, like me and my dad are too similar, so we fight a lot, or used to anyway. But that is what it is. But most people don't have that. Most people don't have a father figure, and it shows. It shows. And you see these guys that smoke a lot of weed, play a lot of Call of Duty, jerk off. And then they go out and, you know, they're kind of half-ass shaven. They're wearing those, like, moccasin-type shoes that, like, just scream, I don't physically use my body and I'm lazy as shit. You know, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, I hate to be stereotypical, but you know what I'm saying. Like, that dude that just looks like he's smelly, plays a lot of Smash Bros, which I certainly do, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, you look at him and you're like, that guy would kick my ass in Smash Bros. But I would not have to worry about him in my house if my sister was home. That type of shit, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, that was my point. Be aware of this, that it is absolutely promoted, supported, and artificially pushed to be anything but a fucking man right now. And When you're wondering if you should work out or start that business or help this person, or you're lacking motivation or energy, you want to be something, but you just can't seem to fucking clear your head enough to where you consider that might be just because you've never been taught. It'd be like throwing you in an NFL game and expecting you to perform. You've never been taught. How the fuck are you supposed to, like, get a great girl? Or just have, like, a very impressive rotation of girls, or just anything, depending on who you are. Okay, I'm the type of guy that definitely likes to have one girl. I think there's far more benefits in that. I'll make a video on that one day, too. Because I think a lot of guys think that if they just get laid a lot, they're going to be happy. And trust me, from experience, I know that that is not true. That is not true, because one day you're gonna be sick, and you're going to grab your phone, and you're going to have 20 girls in your rotation, and all of a sudden you're going to realize, wait, I don't want any of them here. That happened to me. That was one of the most sickening days of my life, for real. But I digress. Look, next time you're trying to do something, just consider the fact that maybe this is a consequence of never being taught or told the importance of being a man. And it's fucking important to be a man. Although all the time you spend thinking that masculinity is toxic or bad, or being attractive, or working out, or working hard, or telling someone to fuck off, or telling someone no, or being better than someone and on occasion letting them know about it, self-sabotaging yourself, bringing yourself down to mix with other people from your hometown or whatever, is an absolute disgrace to yourself, and you shouldn't do it. It's a very, very different world than anyone's ever experienced prior to now. There's not like an obvious blueprint on how to handle Tinder and social media and all these other platforms and cultural differences that we all seem to have, yet they're all facilitated by other countries. That's something else I'll talk about. I've had media companies and agencies for years now. I know to an extent how much manipulation goes on with, like, the elections and shit using social media, and I just feel like no one understands this, so I'm going to make like an hour-long video breaking that down one day. But that's not the point of this video. I just wanted to talk about this and point it out to you so that when you move through your life and you're confused, you just feel kind of weak, consider that you might just be weak. And now it's up to you to recognize why. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons, but perhaps it's because you've just never been taught to not be. I mean, how could you? Every time you go on Instagram, the only guys that seem to get all the attention are TikTok boys, And then, yeah, that's my point. The feminization of men is very scary and a lot more dangerous than I think people realize. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And unfortunately, most of us are gardeners, and the war is coming.